Good day. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Creating Connections podcast number 6.
Six. Yay. So
Yay. There we
exciting.
go.
All
And
right.
we have a lot to talk about today.
We always have a lot to talk about. But yes, we've narrowed it down to three things for today, right?
I think so, yes. Haven't we
Okay.
narrowed it down to 3 things?
I think so.
Awesome.
Any particular order?
Um,
You
it's
pick.
it's a whopper of a podcast, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah. We'll do it your way.
Oh, wow. Nice. Well played. So, I'm not sure if you heard or not, dear viewer, I'm not sure if you've heard or not. Vickie and I have definitely heard. But there's a couple who last names are Burger and King.
Isn't that so cute?
I know, isn't it? It's
I love it.
adorable. It's super cute, right?
And the fact that they've been together since they were like 10 years old.
Yeah, yeah. And
That makes it extra cute.
so Burger King has kind of jumped on this, and the couple reached out to them to create some personalized favors for them for the wedding, and Burger King had no idea what was going on. And then all of a sudden, they have created this for them, and Burger King actually offered to pay for the Burger and King wedding reception. How cool is that?
Yeah. Are they catering it also?
I don't. Let me
I
see.
didn't catch that detail. At least not in the article that I read.
I don't think so.
I'm kind of curious, but it's brilliant of Burger King to take advantage of that kind of publicity, though. You can't make that stuff up, and so they totally did the smart thing to jump on that and get involved. And
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely, totally a smart thing to jump on it, get involved. Um,
well, and I got to applaud the couple too for doing the right thing and not just downloading a logo from the internet and creating their own stuff, but actually taking the time to try to reach out to Burger King, ask for permission, and in this case, doing the right thing eventually connected them to the right people and came back with, way more than they expected. They went looking for permission and they got their wedding paid for, or at least the
right,
reception.
and
That's
I
awesome.
love the fact that they actually went and took engagement photos at Burger King,
Yes.
which was totally cool. He didn't propose at Burger King, but
Good. I think that's totally cool too. I applaud him for that. Um,
so if
yeah, I
if
think that's fun.
if Craig had proposed to you at Burger King, what would you have said?
I would have said yes because I waited a long time for that proposal.
Really?
So yeah, I probably wouldn't have been thrilled with that choice, but maybe at a taqueria that might have worked better for us.
A what?
A taqueria.
The hell's a taqueria?
It's where you get real authentic Mexican tacos. You probably don't have many of those up where you live.
No, we have a little local Mexican joint called Ferdinand's actually here in Escanaba. They have
That's not
great
even.
salsa.
I don't know. I don't know if I can buy that. Even
No?
when we moved to Reno, I'll be honest, growing up in San Jose in the Bay Area, my high school is about 40% Latino. I spoke Spanish more in high school than I did English. And moving to Reno, I had a hard time finding what I considered real authentic tacos. And I lived in Mexico for part of my high school years too,
Wow.
to study, and got really spoiled. We had the little lady that brought the fresh tortillas to the door every day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon,
Cool.
and I had a churro factory down the street from my house. I mean, yeah,
Wow.
spoiled.
And,
But
and
yeah, a
here's
taqueria. That's kind of Craig and I went out to Mexican food on our first date, so that would have worked better than Burger King. But like I said, there was such a long time between when we first started talking about marriage and when he actually proposed that I was just like, I would have said yes anywhere. So,
aw,
yeah.
how cute.
I know. Aren't we cute?
So I'm wondering if they're going to throw a bouquet of fries at the reception.
That sounds really gross.
Have chicken nuggets like
There's got to be better
following
ways
the
to propose
car on the way out,
than making a mess. But
instead of
I know
tying the
the
tin
reception would
can.
probably smell good if there were a lot of French fries. You got to admit, you can't not love the smell of fast food French fries.
Yeah, but Burger King fries are the worst. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'd rather have In-N-Out fries or Wendy's.
I like Wendy's fries. We don't have In-N-Out
Wendy's
here
has
in
good
my
fries.
local area.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike Lupo for In and Out, right?
Yes.
And Aldo Ryan. If you haven't seen the video
I
of
have not
Aldo
been to
Ryan,
In-N-Out with Aldo though, so we'll have to
yeah,
work on that next time we're in the same city.
I shot a video of Aldo Ryan who rode in the trunk of the car from our location to an In and Out. It was awesome because we only had like
I'm afraid to ask why.
we had 7 of us and the car only fit 6 of us, or 5 of us and there only fits 6 of us only fit 5 of us, something like that. And
Okay.
Aldo said, "I'll ride in the trunk," so I
Awesome.
shut the trunk and put him in.
He's not a short person
No,
either. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
I'm glad I wasn't there because I think I would have ended up in the trunk.
probably. Shout out to my boy
Sure enough,
Aldo.
I would have fit on someone's lap. So.
Well, exactly. So the other topic I want to bring up today is a statement that was posted. It kind of sparked off a thread where a guy
Yes.
said that only $400 DJs, or a bride told him that there was only $400 DJs in his market. And so this other gentleman asked, or stated, I should say, there's a misconception out there by many who believe in order to be a good or great disc jockey and master of ceremony, one is also a great salesman or businessman. And his question is, are great and good DJs slash MCs necessarily great and good salesmen and businessmen? And I want to give credit where credit is due. The gentleman's name was Ed who posted this. It's in a closed to the public group, so I'm not going to state exactly who or anything else beyond that. But I do want to give credit where credit is due. So
Good.
Ed, thank you for the topic. I appreciate it. And I did tell Ed on that thread that I
Perfect.
would address it on the podcast. So
Awesome.
we're giving credit where credit is due at least. So I guess the question is, Vickie, are great and good DJs, MCs necessarily great and good salesmen, businessmen? Does it take one to be another?
It's certainly great if someone is great at both areas, but no, I mean, I've met lots of great, entertainers or people that are great at any other aspect of business or what they do, wedding related or otherwise, who are not necessarily good business people and vice versa. And unfortunately, if you're not good at the business side and you don't know enough to either invest in education and or hire appropriate help, you can't really stay in business very long that way most of the
Right.
time. But some people, everybody has different gifts. You hear me talk about personalities all the time. Every personality has its own strengths and weaknesses. And part of the trick is figuring out what yours are and being honest about them,
Yeah.
especially your weaknesses, and knowing what areas you need to get help in. And is it a matter of, I'm so bad at this, I can't be helped, I need to hire someone? Or I hate this so much, I choose to hire someone?
Yeah.
Or is it really just, I need some training. I haven't taken enough business courses, or I need, some mentoring or coaching in a certain area. And that goes the other way too for people with performance.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got a great business setup and things are going well, but you need the performance coaching.
Mhm.
Um, but no, very few people are good at all of the different facets of
Yeah.
running a business. I mean,
To me,
there are
there's
a few of
six.
these people, but we kind of hate them. I mean, respect them.
I love them. Some of them are good friends of mine. I think,
I know.
guys like Mike Walter and Matt Raticelli. If you haven't heard of Matt Raticelli, he's just a phenomenal uh, business that he has in Cleveland called Rock the House. Matt is someone I look up to from a business standpoint, a performance standpoint. He does great things, and I think it's important for you to realize where your strengths are, where your
Yeah.
weaknesses are. Focus on the strengths. That's going to make you more money. It's going to bring you more happiness. If you focus on the things that you frankly suck at, um, and you don't want to do, then why are you wasting your energy and time focusing on the things you don't want to do? Hire out for those things for other people that love those things, right? There may be other personalities that love to do those things,
Yep.
and you're helping them by
Well,
giving
and
them
that's
things they
why
love to do.
that's why it's good that we're all different and that we have different personalities. And I think when your business reaches that point, where you're starting to grow, that's the most effective thing you can do is hire someone whose strengths and weaknesses are opposite yours so that you can complement each other and you can look for someone that can fill in the gaps where you lack. And sometimes it doesn't mean hiring an assistant. I know you have a bookkeeper and an office manager.
Yeah.
For us, it was just a matter of contracting with a payroll service
Yeah.
that would handle certain aspects, like all of the different taxes that we have in our area. I don't know if it's as bad as where you live, but I think there's 9 different payroll taxes that we have between federal, state, and county. Yeah, and some of them are due annually, some of them are quarterly, some of them are twice a year. And I'm not a numbers and spreadsheet kind of person
Yeah.
at all. At all. I have not balanced a checkbook since I was 18 years old. That's not me. And yeah, thank God I married young, someone that has some good common sense. I would be lost without him. But, for us, it just meant hiring a payroll service. This is what they do.
Yeah.
And so now I don't have to worry. All those taxes are paid. My guys get paid on time. It's easy. And I don't have to stress about that kind of stuff. And I've got somebody, helping keep order in that. And then we have a great CPA. So even though I don't have office staff of my own, that's our way of dealing with.
And if you hate the sales side of it, but you're a really good DJ, really good performer, but you really are not good at communicating your value, then hire someone to do the sales for you, or get with an agent. Get with an agent
first. I mean, I'm going to disagree a little bit because
Okay.
I think, I see what you're saying. If you're a single operator, no one is going to be able to represent you as well as you can. And
we may disagree on this topic. That's okay.
No one's going to have the same drive that you do to represent you. And I mean, I've tried hiring salespeople for one of my other divisions of my company for the trivia side. And the bottom line is nobody can do that because they don't have the same investment level that my husband and I do. And so I don't know, I would say try first to get some training. Read Mitch's new book when it comes out. It's fantastic. And at least be prepared, because you're going to find yourself in situations where you have to do that because people are talking to you after an event and they want to talk to you about their next one. And to say, oh, I can't really talk to you about that. You should call my booking agent or my salesperson.
There's nothing wrong with that. If you're that case, if it's a direct referral, I think that's great. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for example, when I first moved up here to the UP of Michigan, I researched and only found one other entity, one other company doing things similar to what I was doing down in Metro Detroit. And that was a good friend of mine named Lee Haynes. What'd you say?
I said I like that story.
And so Lee, basically, the conversation went like this. I called him up and I said, hey, my name is Mitch Taylor and I'm moving to Escanaba, kind of in your neck of the woods. I see you're doing things very similar to what I did in Metro Detroit here. We can be, collaborators or we can be competitors. What do you want to be?
Yep.
And it was very much a ballsy statement, but it was so true. And Lee, being the type A personality that he is, he respected that, I think. And he was my agent for, the first 2 or 3 years at least, maybe 3 to 4 years while I was up here, probably 3 years or so. And I was able to still book events myself, absolutely. Yeah. But he was also booking me out. And especially if you move to a different marketplace, if you have, trying to get...
No, that makes sense. I just don't want people to use that, oh, I'm not good at that, as a cop-out or an excuse to not take responsibility for certain areas. And I think that's the danger when we start getting into personality strengths and weaknesses. Oh, well, I'm this type. I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. You need to look yourself in the mirror and truly understand, okay, is this something I just need to get better at? Or is it something that, I'm better off delegating that or declining that or doing that, whatever it might be.
Well, yeah, and I use myself as an example. I admitted I suck at numbers, so that's why I delegate parts of that. But do I have to understand, how my pricing is structured and pay attention to what I'm charging and
Yeah.
how much I'm paying people. Yes, I can't just, oh, I don't know, and be all loosey-goosey about
No, you
everything.
have to
You
know.
you still have to have some connection, and same with the sales. You've got to, know your pitch. Yeah, maybe you can find somebody who can deliver it better, but you still have to be able to speak about your business on your own.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're gonna wrap up. You
That was
had
a fun little
something you're gonna
tangent.
surprise me, right?
Oh, we have our book sharing. Did you have a book to talk about today?
I have a quote. I was gonna bring up the quote.
A quote. Okay,
Yeah.
that'll
So
work.
the quote I have is, let me find it here. This is from Charlie Tremendous Jones. Charlie Tremendous Jones wrote a book, a couple different books, actually several different books. The two I have in my possession right now are Being Tremendous, and the other one is called Life is Tremendous, and that was kind
And
of his
that's the whole,
nickname.
right?
Yeah, the Life is Tremendous one
I
is
like
quite
short books.
small. Um, I should have had it here. I don't know if it's sitting over there or not. Maybe I'll have to get it for our next
Okay.
podcast.
Being tremendous and life is tremendous.
Life
Okay.
is Tremendous is a short book. It's like, I don't know, 80 pages, relatively small, about the same size as Personalities for Business. my
And sales for event pros.
my shameless plug. Uh, so
Did you realize that your book is seriously almost exactly the same number of words as mine, like within 100 words?
you're kidding.
Did you know that? No.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
I wasn't trying to match your word count. just
No, we're just a lot alike.
I just wrote. So
Uh-huh.
when I went to Jeffrey Gitomer's Gitomer Certified Advisor training and became one this past January, Jeffrey made a point to he gave us a lot of books, right? Which I thought was an excellent benefit that I didn't know I was getting at
That's
the
cool.
time. And all of a sudden we show
That's
up and he's passing out books and everything else. Well, the biggest benefit I got out of that was finding out who's your mentor's mentor. And Charlie Tremendous Jones was one of Jeffrey Gitomer's mentors, his speaking mentor. And there's actually a nice big photo of Charlie and Jeffrey together, probably in the 80s sometime, if I had to guess, based upon what
nice.
Jeffrey was wearing and the color of his hair and everything else. It was great because
That's awesome.
Charlie was a hugger and Jeffrey's just giving a big old bear hug to Charlie in the
Aw.
photo. And one of the quotes I picked out of the book that I thought was really good was, "Let's go ahead and not do it. Have you ever seen a monument dedicated to a committee?"
Yeah, that's
And
great.
and the other one, just quick before you get to your book, this one I love. I really love this quote. "If you give to get, you're not truly giving, you're trading." And that's from Charlie Tremendous Jones. And if you want to pick up the book, great books. Check them out on Amazon. There's tremendous books. You can find them. It's just awesome. Now, you said you had a book that I haven't read.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm guessing, but yeah, I love this book. Can you see this?
Yeah,
Brian's List.
I see it. Yeah.
I met Brian Benson at a coffee shop. We just ran into each other. I don't even remember the exact circumstance, but it was probably 5 or 6 years ago. And the topic of his book came up, which is good. If you're an author, you should always have a copy of your book with you. And I bought his book right there, and I loved it. And it was simple. It's the sub tagline is 26 and a half easy to use ideas on how to live a fun, balanced, and healthy life.
Awesome.
So nothing is earth shattering, but it's the kind of thing that as a business owner and a wife and a mother and a community volunteer and everything else I do, it's hard. You feel out of balance a lot of
Hmm.
times. And it's nice to just have this little inspirational book where you can read a chapter that's like a page or a page and a half and on any topic. And it's just simple, simple things like go for a walk, be thankful, get more sleep, write down your thoughts. And then he's got just personal examples and little stories and some fun facts in there. But the other thing that was that stood out to me was that he is the first author that I really interacted with. And when I look back on when I was in school and high school, college, when you read stuff, I was reading stuff by people that were old, dead, or famous. And, I
Right.
want, and so it wasn't really until later when I started my business that I started reading more contemporary, nonfiction things and reading about business, marriage, and parenting were kind of the three main nonfiction categories I delved into right around the same time. Because we started our business literally at our wedding by accident, and then we had kids about 3 years later. So I was reading those kind of things, and at that point, still, it felt like, oh yeah, well they're a famous author,
Right.
and it didn't seem like it was something very attainable. And even when I started training under an author that I really respected, it still felt like, oh well, this is something that she's been doing for 40 years. And when I got my certification and started teaching personalities, people were resonating with the message. And for 2 years, they were saying, this is great. Where can I get your book? And it took me that long to say, wow, these people think that I'm in that category.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not, old, dead, or famous, but maybe someday I could be famous. But they believed that I had a message that was worth investing their time and resources in. And so I spent the next year working on writing a book. And yes, I spent a whole year writing my little less than 100-page book because I'm a yellow and I have trouble focusing. But I hung on to Brian's book because it made it feel attainable.
Yeah.
And then I started a pile that's on a separate place on my shelf on my desk that is just books of friends of mine that have written books or other authors that have become friends. And I kept that there just as kind of a little extra inspiration.
That's
And
cool.
yeah, I like it. And so I just finished my second book last week.
Awesome.
Draft of that. So yeah, it's real.
That was surreal to me too. When I first got to meet Jeffrey, or Michael Port,
Yes.
or Mike McAllowitz, or I mean any of the authors I've met that I've read their books, it's been like, wow, this is super cool. Yeah, totally get that. So hey, this is Gitomer Certified Advisor Mitch Taylor.
And certified personality trainer Vickie Musni.
We are signing off for today. Check us out at mitchtaylor.net. We got upcoming Gitomer workshops in the can and ready to go. And Vickie has a workshop as well, right?
I have 2 workshops coming up next month. Yes, one in Winnipeg and one in Calgary.
Awesome.
Yep. Yeah.
Check out our website to see those, VickieMusni.com.
Yep.
I said it right.
Pretty close.
See you next time.
Bye.